Hello everyone, welcome back to Coach Craig Sports. Today we're going to go over a couple of new pieces of information. I'm sure a lot of you have already heard already. We're going to go over Clyde Edwards-Helaire fantasy impact now that Damian Williams has opted out. And then we're going to go over LeSean McCoy signing with Tampa Bay. So, as you guys, some of you may know, I've been gone for a little while. We were gone over the weekend for a couple days. I was out of town and didn't have any service, and then on Wednesday I actually had a surgery, nasal surgery, so I'm not going to have my video camera up today, and I might sound a little bit weird or sniffle a little bit here and there. That's just from that, but let's get started. So first off, we're going to go with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Obviously Damian Williams has opted out now. What impact does this have on Helaire? Before I had him ranked about 16th or 17th for my running backs going into the draft. Now I bumped him up to about 10th. I'm projecting him to go towards the later half to round 1, the beginning half round 2. And for the season, what can we expect for Mr. Clyde Edwards-Helaire? So these are his college stats here. Obviously, freshman year he didn't play too much. Sophomore year he had 146 attempts for about 660 yards, 4.5 yards a carry, 7 touchdowns. Caught a couple passes for 96 yards. And then his junior year, we all know that's when he really broke out. 215 carries, 1,414 yards, 16 touchdowns, and then he also had 55 catches for 453 yards and a touchdown there. He has 17 total touchdowns and just shy of 1,900 yards total from scrimmage. So going into this year, obviously, there's no Damian Williams, so that helps him out a lot this year. You still got a couple other guys in that backfield, Darrell Williams, Darwin Thompson, and DeAndre Washington that came over from Oakland. So I think Edwards-Helaire, I'm projecting him right now to have about 200 carries. I just kind of gave a modest projection for that, for about 4.5 yards a carry. That'd give him 900 yards. And then in my projection, I'm projecting about 50 catches, and I just gave him 7 yards a catch for there. That'd give him 350 yards receiving, so about 1,250 total yards from scrimmage. You're going to use, in this example, about 10 touchdowns. So in this example, he'd have 900 yards, so 90 points. Then he'd have 10 touchdowns, 60 points there. 50 catches, so we're just an example. We're going to use the full point PPR here. So that'd give him another 50 points. And then about 350 yards, that'd give him 35 points. So this is just a rough estimate, but this would give him about 235 total fantasy points. Looking back, I looked back at one of my leagues last year. This would have him finishing about 11th, their 11th ranked running back, just behind the 9th and 10th place from last year. So I think ranking him 10th going into the season is pretty fair evaluation right now. I think that's something that he can easily obtain. And then if he does a little bit better than that, obviously, he could end up being a top 5 running back. If somebody else gets a little bit of the carries, he might bounce down to top 15 running back. So you're kind of in that middle range. So I think kind of where he's going to be going now, you want to take him either at the end of the first round. Preferably you'd want to take him in the second round. But if you took him in the first round, I can't really blame you as much right now. With that being said, it's nothing too crazy here. That's pretty much all I got for Mr. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Like I said, I'm projecting him about 235 fantasy points. Would put him at about 11th place last year. So he is definitely an RB1 range there. Obviously, he's got the upside for more if he gets more carries. And then we got LeSean McCoy that signed with Tampa Bay now. So for fantasy, this kind of sucks. McCoy shouldn't have much value himself. This brings down the value of Ronald Jones, and it brings down the value of Keyshawn Vaughn as well. I'm pretty sure this is probably going to turn into a 3-back timeshare. McCoy and Jones probably will get the first action, and then Vaughn might slip into as well. Unless one running back really breaks away with it and they earn Tom Brady and Bruce Arians' trust, it's probably going to be split up. So I'm not going to really recommend drafting any of these 3 running backs this year. If you can get one of them late and you feel real confident about them, like one of your last couple rounds, you want to take a shot on it, I'm not against that at all. I think that's not the worst idea in the world, because you can do that, and then if they don't end up doing anything, then you just cut them. But like we seen last year, Ronald Jones and Peyton Barber, they just went back and forth all year. And then we had Dare Agumbawale. He was coming in on third down as the third down back too, because Bruce Arians trusted him there. With LeSean McCoy, I'm just gonna look at his stats from last year with Kansas City. So last year he played in 13 games, started 9 of them. He had 101 carries, 465 yards, 4 touchdowns, and then he actually caught 28 passes too. He only got 181 yards on that, so he was only getting about 6.5 yards per reception. And he had 1 touchdown there. I don't think he's going to do any better than these stats. I'd probably project him out to be similar to this. Carries-wise, he'll probably be somewhere around that 100 carries, I'm guessing, unless he stays really healthy or he looks like he's in good shape and just being able to keep up with the workload. You gotta keep in mind that he's also 32 years old this season. He could end up with more than 28 catches if he gets like that kind of third down role. So, or maybe they could just kind of try to keep him loose and run Jones and Vaughn on the early downs, and then kind of use McCoy as the third down back. He's had pretty good hands over there. If you look over here at the catch rate, his catch rate's pretty much been above 70%, except for pretty much 1 year there. That was right around 70 in here as well. But otherwise, he's been 70-80% catch rate. So obviously, somebody that in PPR, maybe he has some value, like it's one of your last picks of the draft. But other than that, like unless he stays healthy and he looks electric or something like that, he's not the Shady of yesteryear. I don't think he's going to make too big an impact this year, but I definitely think it hurts the value of Ronald Jones and Keyshawn Vaughn a whole lot. Ronald Jones was kind of somebody I had as like a little sleeper. I had him a little bit higher than some other people. I wasn't too high on Vaughn for this year. But I think overall, there is just going to end up being 3 backs, the splitting time in the backfield, unless unless somebody earns Tom Brady and Bruce Arians' trust and is able to stay healthy and hold on to that role, which I don't really see happening now that you've got the 3 backs there together. But that's all I got for today. There's just a short little video going over those 2 guys. So I joined a group called just Fantasy Football Discussion. I'm promoting some of my content on there. I'm going to ask questions there as well. Today I asked the question, who are 2 or 3 guys you're avoiding in drafts? So if you want to answer that question down below for this video as well, I'll ask it here as well. Who are 2 or 3 guys that you're avoiding pretty much at all costs in your drafts? Just let me know down in the comments. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, hit the subscribe button. If you're already subscribed or newly subscribed and you haven't hit the notification bell down below, please do so. I'll let you know every time we put up a video. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and have a great rest of your day.